Robert Kennedy's alignment with Donald Trump is also something that these leftists who previously embraced RFK, let's not forget that, his alignment with Donald Trump is something that they cannot stand, because more than they hate you, more than they hate me, because we hold values that are actually based in principle, based in religious belief, based in morality, they cannot stand. The left cannot stand when one of their own defects. That's why if there's a woman, for example, who says, actually, I'm a conservative and I'm pro-life, they hate that woman because they think they have this monopoly on women. If a black person says, actually, Democrats in the inner cities, Democrat politicians in the inner cities have harmed the black communities, Democrat policies have caused the brokenness of the black family, which has harmed young black men, Democrats can't stand that black person. They call him an Uncle Tom. They call him a race traitor because they think they have a monopoly, a chokehold on black people. They think that black people must be Democrats. Well, likewise, when a Kennedy of all people, someone from the Democrat Kennedy family, dares to align himself with Trump, they cannot stand it. And this was evidenced when RFK was asked in a very condescending, accusatory tone. Obviously, the senator intended to trigger RFK, but RFK's calm. He doesn't get triggered super easily. Asked, well, are you just going to be a rubber stamp for Donald Trump? You mean like as Trump's HHS secretary working for Donald Trump? Are you going to do what Donald Trump wants? This is RFK's profound response. Take a listen.
Keep citing the Trump administration and you're just going to follow what they say. Is that what you're doing? You're just a rubber stamp for them in this position? So anybody, so it doesn't matter that you're before us. It could be anybody coming before us as long as they're a rubber stamp for this administration and disregarding your beliefs and what you think. I guess my question to you is, if it really is fundamental to what you believe, how do you live with that? How do you address those issues as you're moving forward, knowing that it's going to harm Americans? Yeah.
You want me to answer the question?
No, I'm asking you.
Okay. President Trump has asked me to end the chronic disease epidemic and make America healthy again. And I'm
So
in
is
a
that the
unique
only reason
position.
why you're at HHS? Is that the
Excuse
only
me.
reason why then you're at the HHS, to address that one issue?
President Trump has asked me because I'm in a unique position to end that. And that is what I'm doing. And if we don't solve that problem, Senator, all of the other disputes we have about who's paying, and whether it's insurance companies, whether it's providers, whether it's HMOs, whether it's patients or families, all of those are moving deck chairs around on the Titanic. Our ship is sinking. Our 60% increase in Medicaid over the past 4 years is the biggest budget line now, and it's growing faster than any other. And no other nation in the world has what we have here. No other nation has a chronic disease. We have the highest chronic disease burden of any country in the world. We had, during COVID, we had 16% of the COVID deaths in a country. We only have 4.2% of the world's population. We had a higher death count than any country in the world. And when CDC was asked why, they said it's because Americans are the sickest people on earth. The average person who died from COVID, American, had 3.8 chronic diseases. This is an existential threat economically, to our military, to our health, to our sense of well-being. And it is a priority for President Trump. And that's why he asked me to run the agency. And if I'm privileged to be confirmed, that's exactly what I'll do.
And that is exactly why Donald Trump nominated RFK. But you heard the tone of Senator Cortez Masto. She's like, ending the chronic disease epidemic, that one thing, you're going there just for that one thing. That's what causes the reaction from Maha moms, because what she was doing right there, she has the power to propagate the chronic disease crisis in our children. If she votes no, she's voting in favor of autism and ADHD and childhood obesity and childhood diabetes and autoimmune disorders and cancer and infertility and a mental health crisis, the like of which no country on earth has ever seen before. And she dismisses it. She doesn't listen to you and your stories and what's happened to your children, your sons and daughters. She diminishes it. She belittles it. That's the only thing that you're going there. Just that. Not any of my interests, not the interests of my lobbyists, just your family and your children and your health. That's all that you're going there to fix. This hearing I don't know if it'll change the minds of any United States senator. That's incumbent on you to change the minds of the senators that represent you. But let me tell you what this hearing will do. This hearing has exposed the swamp, specifically to the Maha moms who might have come into the marriage between MAGA and Maha a little skeptically. They might not have been fans of President Trump. They might have kept their distance a little bit. They're just on the Trump train because RFK is on the Trump train. But this hearing has exposed the swamp to the Maha moms. The dishonesty and evil of these United States senator and the mainstream media, which we'll talk about in a second, is shocking. And so my message to the Maha moms today is welcome aboard. Let's fix this crisis. And when I talk about the media, what I'm talking about is this. Callie Means, one of RFK Jr.'s most influential, courageous, and powerful allies, busted a reporter before the hearing even started, drafting the narrative of how they were going to report on RFK Jr. before he even opened his mouth. Take a look at this. This is before the conference even started. Oh, they wrote a headline saying that RFK Jr. faces grilling on his anti-vaccine comments. Oh, so they didn't actually want to report objectively on what happened. They wanted to just propagate their own narrative. It was rigged from the beginning because of Big Pharma. Thank goodness for you. Thank goodness for, I posted a link over the past couple days on my social media account saying, call your senator, click this link, call your senator, email them, text them, tag them on X, tell them in no uncertain terms to vote in favor of confirming RFK Jr. or else their political career is over. And I cannot tell you how many of you did that. I was watching the number of people that clicked on that link because I can see the count on the back end of my social media platforms. The number of you that picked up your phones and opened your email inbox and tagged your senator on X, let me tell you, it will make a difference. So thank you. And if you haven't, even if you have, call them again, email them again. Nicole Shanahan, who was RFK Jr.'s vice presidential running mate, she's a billionaire. And she released a video yesterday promising to primary any United States senator who votes against RFK Jr. Take a look at this.
I urge everyone to call their U.S. senators over the following days and demand they vote yes on Bobby's nomination. He is more than qualified. He's proven, principled, and prepared to lead. I'll share a list below of key senators. If they represent your state, they need to hear from you. If they don't, please call your own senator and ask them to vote yes. We need as many votes as we can get. So this hasn't been widely reported, but in 2020, I cut large checks to Chuck Schumer to help Democrats flip 2 Senate seats in Georgia from red to blue. The 2 candidates I helped elect, Senator Raphael Warnock and Senator John Ossoff, please know I will be watching your votes very closely. I will make it my personal mission that you lose your seats in the Senate if you vote against the future health of America's children. And more than that, I also want to say to Senators Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, Bill Cassidy, Tom Tillis, James Lankford, Cory Booker, John Fetterman, Bernie Sanders, and Catherine Cortez Masto, this is a bipartisan message, and it comes directly from me. While Bobby may be willing to play nice, I won't. If you vote against him, I will personally fund challengers to primary you in your next election, and I will enlist hundreds of thousands to join me. Big Pharma and Big Ag have exploited us for far too long. It ends now. You're either on the side of transparency and accountability, or you are standing in the way. The choice is yours. Please choose wisely.
Nicole Shanahan is a prototype of a Maha mom, someone who cannot be defeated. She cannot be stopped because it is her child who is on the line. It is your child who is on the line. Call your senator. Our nation is in crisis. Our families are hurt. Our children are sick, and we are being gaslit. We all have personal stories, whether it's the onset of an autoimmune disease, fertility problems, pediatricians coercing us into giving unnecessary and dangerous vaccines to our children against our own better judgment. In fact, I have told the story of the vaccine coercion that I've experienced the day that my first daughter was born. I'm going to re-up on X a thread that I created of resources for parents who've been coerced by their pediatrician for childhood vaccines that they know better than to give to their children, but they are facing emotional hostage taking from the public health administration, from their own doctors who they want to trust. telling them that if they don't give their babies these vaccines, then their babies will die. And that fear that you feel in your heart as a parent is almost overwhelming when you face that. And I created a thread on X about a year ago, with a list of resources for parents who are in that situation, who want to educate themselves so they can make the best and safest decision for their baby. But wouldn't it be great if we didn't have to prepare ourselves as if we were also sitting in the United States Senate being grilled by hostile senators? Wouldn't it be great if we could trust our public health establishment? Tell your senator to vote yes on the confirmation of RFK Jr. and take a moment and say a prayer that they do the right thing.